Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. My name is Mark. This is, I believe, the 50th episode of Slayer Talk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my fiance slash girlfriend.
What the fuck?
Slash wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
I was better till now.
I didn't, you know that's going to happen at some point. That I'm going to mix things up at some point. She's my wife now, everybody. But maybe I'm not actually talking to Carol. Maybe I'm talking to a doppelganger from another reality where we're
and maybe she's real evil and will punish you.
Oh, my God. I love it. But say your line.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is February 23rd, 1999. And we're in Dopplegangland.
This is such a fun episode. I loved this episode.
I thought this episode was very good, too. A lot of funny lines in this episode. Mm-hmm. It's sort of a mise en whatever. It's the middle part. It's a, I can't remember what they call it, but I think they did it in comics all the time. Some of the serialized stories, when they have a big storyline going on, and it's like, oh, there's this giant storyline going on, and like they want 1 week where they're like, can we just fucking take a break from this or whatever? That's what this feels like. So they just write a what if script, or just some adventure that they're doing off somewhere else,
right?
Where it's like it's very separated from everything else. This feels a lot like one of those episodes because we got the big reveal last time. Faith is going over to the mayor's side and she's evil and stuff like that. And the mayor has some evil shit up his sleeve.
And an ascension.
And I assume that that's going to continue on after this.
Right. But
this episode is more just like, it's very fun. Let's have fun with this idea of another Willow. And it's like a kind of a one-off adventure, sort of.
Yeah. So Willow is called into the principal's office with some jock, captain of the football team or whatever. I don't know. Basketball team.
Fast break and 50% from 3-point, which is fucking ridiculous. But
I don't know what any of that meant. You're speaking another language there, sir.
He's a very good shooter, apparently.
Okay.
50% from 3 is, although the high school 3 is a lot shorter than the NBA 3, so it's probably believable, I guess.
So the principal, that evil little man,
the little troll man,
he wants Willow to help him get better grades because he has to pass his classes so he can keep kicking butt with basketball.
Exactly.
And
as he says, we don't want to, we need this win for our sports team, after the fiasco with the swim team.
Last year, yeah, that was awesome.
I love that the swim team turning into like lake monsters is just called the fiasco with the swim team.
And neither one of them are happy with this. He calls it a marriage, and Willow's like, "What, you want us to breed?"
Yeah, that was very funny.
And then she's trying to hold up, her end of this and tries to talk to the dude, and he's like,
why don't you just fucking do it
just
for
do
me?
the homework. You're going to get in trouble if you don't. So.
Exactly. Fuck you.
He's such a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, he gets his.
And Willow's just being, walked on the whole episode. I'm trying to remember, they said something to her about her...
Well, Buffy comes up. Buffy and Xander come up. And Xander's like, hey, did you tape... the History Channel or whatever for me? And she's like, yep. And Buffy says, see, old reliable.
Yeah, and that really hurts her feelings. She doesn't want to be that.
Also, Oz and his band went and played a show or whatever, and she was like, why didn't you invite me? And he was like, I didn't think it would be your scene. Because it's, it's all whatever exciting and stuff. And she's like, oh, you think I'm boring?
Yeah, that's no good. By the way, what the fuck was up with his hair?
I know.
It was pitch black, that nasty fake looking black. Mm-hmm. He looks like a funeral home director now, or a wannabe vampire. I don't know.
I guess because he's in a band or whatever, it makes some amount of sense. But
I guess.
Yeah, it did not look good on him.
There are so many colors to choose from, and he is way too pale to pull off black hair.
No, go blue.
Right? Blue would work.
Yeah, Blue'd be fine.
But, yeah, so she's not happy. She's not feeling good about herself.
No.
And then, if you guys remember a couple episodes ago, there was this wish demon.
A magic wish fairy.
Anya.
Yeah, who's played by Brandon's old love interest in 90210.
Yeah, Susan or something?
Yeah, Susan Keats.
Yeah. She had helped her when she had helped Cordelia when she was upset with Xander.
Because Cordelia made the wish of, like, I wish Buffy didn't exist.
Right. So that was when we had a different episode where it was like a one-off alternate reality. Well, we thought it'd be a one-off, but it leads into this because this person is back. She had lost her powers, and she's trying to get them back. And whoever she went to, whatever demon she went to, is like, no, you're doomed to just live out your mortal life and die. You don't get powers now.
Yeah, so now she's just a high school kid.
Yeah, she's like, I'm in high school. Like, it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And she needs a witch to help her to get her necklace back, which is what gave her the powers in the first place.
Yeah. I have a question about her, though. Like, so she was, like, just this magic wish fairy or whatever that appeared, because she's supposed to, like, get revenge on cheating men. That was her thing. And Xander cheated on Cordelia, so she gave Cordelia her wish. And now she's mortal, like, because if you destroy the lockets or whatever, she becomes mortal. That was the resolution of that episode, right? Does she have a social security number? Like, does she she?
Yeah, how does she eat?
Yeah, like, does she have parents? Like, what happened? Did she inhabit a human body? Like, is she possessing an actual student? What's going on?
Well, I mean, she looks the same as she did when she was a demon, kind of.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like, I don't get it, because if she doesn't have a social security number, if she doesn't have parents and all this stuff, then she doesn't need to stay in high school. And if she does, where did all that come from? Where did this identity come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did she take somebody over or what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. She says she's 1,100 years old, but it's like, okay, like...
Then why are you in high school?
Yeah, what's going on? It's because she could pass for 20 or whatever.
Sure.
So, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
She doesn't have an ID. So I bet you she doesn't have any legitimacy to anything.
So there's no reason for her to be failing math and trying to fucking be in high school then.
Because she goes to the bar and tries to order a drink and she can't because she has no ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, if she does have ID, it says she's
1,100 years old.
No, it says she's high school aged.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's just why she couldn't get a drink. She doesn't say I don't have ID. She's just like, come on, just give me a fucking drink. And he's like, no ID. And if the only ID she might have might be a driver's license that says she's 17.
Right. That makes sense.
But anyway, so what she wants to do with Willow is fold time back.
To touch that alternate dimension.
No, she doesn't want to go to the alternate dimension. What she wants to do is rewind time, basically, so she can go back to that point before her fucking locket was broken, so she can make sure it's not broken, so she can retain her powers.
Okay.
That's what she's trying to do. But it doesn't work 100%.
No. Well, because Willow feels that it's dark magic, and she's fighting against it.
Yeah, and I think that's why it doesn't work. So it kind of like it's like a tape that you're rewinding, like gets caught in the gears, but something comes through.
Yeah, not the necklace.
No.
But the evil Willow.
Yeah, the vampiric Willow.
Her doppelganger.
Which is awesome.
It is. I love it. I loved this episode.
I have been critical of Allison Hannigan in the past. I mean, not critical like, oh, she sucks or whatever, but like, her character is kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say a nothing character or whatever, but like, she is kind of reliable and boring as a character. Sure. And I loved that Allison Hannigan, the actress, got to play in this episode, and she does it really well. She portrays the two Willows really, really differently, sort of like similarly but differently, but really well. When she's the vampire Willow, it's like she's she has no bones or something, you know, like she slinks around and her head moves a lot, and
like
she's
snake-like.
Yeah, as she's walking and everything, and there's just a looseness to her body language that really sells who she is, because otherwise she's holding herself real tight, you know?
Yeah, good observation.
So I thought that was a really good acting choice, and I thought that really brought a lot to the characterization of the other character.
But yeah, so Willow agrees to help Anya when asked, but only because she says she's trying to find an old family heirloom.
Yeah.
And she's like, will it be dangerous? And she's like, no, not at all. She's like, can we pretend it will?
Yeah, because she wants to be rebellious, because she doesn't want to be reliable.
So, I mean, she's definitely going through something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it doesn't work, and then Vampire Willow is brought into our reality, and we get a funny scene where Buffy and Xander see her at the Bronze, the Vampire Willow, and she goes up to Xander and she's like, "Oh my God, it's you," you know, and stuff. And he's touching, he's like, "Hands," and she's like, "We've been through this. It's, you know, like no more or whatever." And she's like, "This world's so weird. What's going on?" Mm-hmm. Because they were together as vampires in that other world. And
she's like, "You're so alive."
Buffy comes up and she's like, "Oh, it's you. I don't like you." And she's like, "I'm sorry about what I said earlier today." Mm-hmm. And she's trying to apologize and everything. And she goes to walk away, and Buffy grabs her and she shows her demon face.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh my God, she's been fucking killed."
Yeah.
So for a brief period, they think she's dead.
They're so depressed. They go to Giles. They're all just sitting around like mourning because they feel like she's died.
Giles is like, "She was the best of us," and Xander's like, she was better than me."
And Giles goes, yes, she was.
much better.
And
there's a lot there. I can't remember all of them, but there are a lot of really funny lines in this episode. It's a very funny script.
Then she walks in.
Regular Willow, not
evil Willow. And they're so, delighted to see her, and everybody's hugging her, and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
So they're telling her, well, there is this vampire version.
They suss out that apparently there's some other version of her.
Yeah. And in the meantime, this other version of her is gathering her vampire army because she wants to turn the Bronze back the way that it was in her world.
Yeah, she's trying to make this world like her world, since she feels like she can't get back to her world.
Right.
But also she gets attacked by a couple of vampires because the mayor was like, fucking just start attacking them.
Yeah.
Like, and he says to Willow, he's like, yeah, we need to kill your Slayer friend. And he's like, don't worry, Faith, I wouldn't ask you to do that, since you just turned and everything back to the dark side with me. Besides, it'll look much better if a vampire attacks them. That's kind of the thing we're going for. So he sets off some vampires that he has working for him out there after he gives her an apartment.
Yeah.
He gives Faith this like really nice apartment. He's like he has her like a kept woman. It's weird.
Yeah, and she calls him daddy.
Sugar daddy.
And he's like, don't do that. I'm a family man.
Mm-hmm. Where's your family?
Yeah.
Do they know you're indestructible right now?
And like, I feel like she would totally fuck him.
100% she would.
Because she's grateful for the apartment. I don't like it.
I think she just likes
sex.
Yeah, and like messing around with people's brains and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the vampires attack Willow, and she beats the shit out of them. And they're like, "What the fuck? This is a mistake."
Yeah, we're going to get a human.
And she's like, "Yeah, well, you work for me now."
She's breaking fingers. It was awesome.
So she gathers a vampire army and tries to take over the Bronze.
So Buffy and Giles have, and Real Willow, come up with a plan.
Yeah, because Angel was conveniently at the Bronze.
Of course.
And he gets out because he can, because he's Angel. And he goes and tells him. He goes in there. He's like, I got some bad news for you guys. I don't know how to say this. Oh, I'm just gonna rip the band. Willow's dead. They got her. She's a vampire. She's at the bronze. And then he looks over. He's like, hey, Willow. But yeah, so he catches them up to speed, and yeah, they come up with a plan to get them out.
Oz's band is playing, so that's weird too because he thinks that that's his girlfriend at first.
Well, Oz's band's playing, but also Kay's Choice is there for some reason.
Yeah,
not an addict's own Kay's Choice.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. When
does Willow abduct other Willow?
I don't remember.
I think that's before the plan.
Okay.
I think other Willow tries to get there and she's licking her neck and stuff like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
She's like, we can have some fun or whatever. This is cool.
She's coming onto herself. It's weird.
Like you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
If there was another one of you, you wouldn't make out with you?
No, of course not. That would be weird.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so she does, and she Willow's able to get to like a stun thing, and she shoots her with a stun dart.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, why would that even work on a vampire?
I don't know.
I was amazed that it did. That's there for Oz.
Oh yeah, you're right. Those are for Oz. You're right. Yeah. I don't know why I worked on a vampire.
I think it's just convenient. Yeah.
But they lock her up in the thing, and Willow's like, oh my God, it's so weird. She's so evil, and I think she's
a little gay.
I think she's kind of gay. And Buffy's like, well, just remember, Willow, that a vampire's personality has nothing to do with the personality of the person it's from. And Angel's like, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it kind of seems like they must a little.
Yeah, you would think so. And she, not only does she lick Willow's neck and try to come onto her, but she takes a girl from the bronze before she actually goes to get Willow and licks her neck and does like this similar type thing.
But then she kills her.
Well, then she feeds on her.
But she's not a lesbian. She's bi because she's with Xander.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she has to be bisexual.
Yeah. But yeah, so they switch clothes. So you've got evil Willow dressed up in a pink fluffy
like a 5-year-old
sweater. Yeah. Yeah. And then you've got good Willow wearing like this dominatrix outfit. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to pretend to be evil Willow.
She walks into the bronze and she's like, hey, what's up, fellow vampires?
Yeah, it's bad. She's bad. And their plan is for her to send them out one at a time so they can kill them.
It's not a bad plan, but she needs to do it a little faster. She's like, hey, I think I heard something out there. Why don't you go check it out? And he goes out there to check it out, and he's killed instantly by a stake. And then after a little while of her monologuing and walking around, she says to another vampire, he's been out there a while. Why don't you go check on him? Yeah. Presumably he gets killed.
And that's only as far as she gets before they realize that she's not the right Willow.
Well, Susan Keats discovers it. She's like, you're not a fucking vampire.
Yeah. Well, because, she's 1,100 years old. She's seen some shit.
And because they're like, what'd you do with the other Willow? Why isn't she here? 'Cause she went to get her so that she could do the spell, because Susan Keats is like, I can take you back to your world. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, oh, sweet. And that's what she's looking for. But instead, she's like, oh, I killed her. They're like, what? That's what you were supposed to get her. And she was like, she was boring. And she's just like, she was sick of being trampled on, and then she'd lash out at her friends and everything, and she's like
this
talking
whole
about herself.
thing, yeah.
And she's like, so I had to kill her. And they're like, okay. The other vampire's like, all right, well, let's fucking eat all these people then. Mm-hmm. And she's like, but first, maybe not.
Yeah, she's trying to hold them off as long as she can.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the Scooby gang come in and save them when she gets discovered.
When she first goes into the bar, she sees that jock that she's supposed to write the paper for, and he's like, hey, where's my paper? You're supposed to write it. And she's like, who the fuck are you? And beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Vampire Willow does.
Yeah, so later in the episode, regular Willow runs into him.
Towards the end of the episode,
yeah. And he's done an outline on the paper, 2 different ones, because he wasn't sure which one to do.
Yeah, because it's about Roosevelt, and he wasn't sure which Roosevelt it was.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, he's like he gives her an apple. He's like, I respect you.
And what's the funniest though? Okay, is they do the spell to send evil Willow back to her time.
Yeah.
And as soon as they send her back, she gets shoved into the wall and killed like she did in the first episode.
Yeah, it's so funny. Because what happens is, so she screams, they all come in there, and then it's a big fight and everything like they do sometimes. And Buffy's kicking everyone's ass, and Vampire Willow has real Willow down there, and he's like strangling her because Cordelia let her out, by the way. Cordelia comes in just a fucking like ball gown.
Yeah, she's all sparkly and beautiful, and she has like a scene with the new Watcher guy. There's some sexual tension there.
100%.
Like it's messed up because he's an adult and she's not.
Yeah,
but yeah, I really think maybe something's going to happen there.
But she was like, before she was going to let her out, she was like, yeah, let's have a conversation though about stealing boyfriends. And then she's like, they're going through this whole thing. It's hilarious. But then she does let her out, and then she starts chasing her around. That's how she gets out and starts to attack them. So she gets real Willow, and she's like strangling her and everything. Buffy sees it, and she comes up, and she's about to kill her and stab her. And Willow's like, no, wait.
Yeah.
And then that's when they're like, this is what you got to do. You know, we're going to send you back to your world and everything. I can't kill her, you know. So, like they build up this thing like she has a chance. Like it's I think the thing that makes the most sense. We got to send her back, and then she'll have a chance at life or whatever.
Which is so stupid.
And then immediately she's killed.
She's a fucking vampire. There's no chance of anything for her anyway.
But it is so funny. She's just immediately killed.
She goes, oh damn, and then just poof. So.
But yeah, a very entertaining episode.
So awesome. I hope y'all caught it.
Yeah. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it, right? I can't wait till we get back to the main storyline with the mayor and the Ascension.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen there.
All right, well, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where to ascend.
So you can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Da.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.